This is the Well Body Podcast with your host, Renee, the place where everyday women learn how to stop running on empty, reset their energy, nourish their bodies, and feel strong again. Let's get into it. Hello, and welcome back to the Well Body Podcast and to the Gut Health series. Today's conversation is a really important one because we're talking about gut health and weight management, but we're doing this without diet culture, without shame, and without the pressure that so many women feel when it comes to their bodies. So many women feel confused about their weight. They feel like they're doing everything right. They're tracking their food. They are trying to eat healthy. They are going to the gym. They are being disciplined, and yet their body feels stuck. Their stomach feels bloated. Their energy feels low. Their digestion feels off. Their clothes feel tighter. The scale isn't moving in the way that they expected. And often the immediate thought is, I must be doing something wrong. I need to eat less. I need to try harder. I need to be more strict. I need to lower my calories. I need to do more cardio. But what if the answer isn't more restriction? What if the body is not resisting you, but it's actually responding to the environment that it's in? Because when we zoom out, weight loss is not just about calories. Weight is influenced by digestion, inflammation, stress, sleep, hormones, gut bacteria, blood sugar regulation, and also nourishment levels. And when we ignore these pieces, we can end up stuck in cycles of dieting harder when actually the body may need more support, not more pressure. So today's episode is about helping you understand why weight can feel complicated and why focusing on calories misses a bigger part of the picture. It's not just about the food that you eat to fit your macros and to fit your calories for the day. There's so much more to it than that. Because inside your gut, as you may have heard me mention before, lives trillions of bacteria known as the microbiome. And these microbes play a role in breaking down food, producing nutrients, supporting metabolism, regulating inflammation, supporting hormones, communicating with the brain, and influencing appetite and cravings. Your gut is not just digesting food, it's consistently and constantly communicating with the rest of your body. And research continues to show associations between gut microbiome diversity and metabolic health, insulin sensitivity, inflammation, and body weight regulation. So now this does not just mean that your gut bacteria are magically causing weight gain, but what it does mean is that your gut environment influences how well your body can regulate your hunger signals, which is a huge one. Because if we can't drown out the food noise, then we constantly find ourselves eating and snacking and reaching for food. The gut environment also influences how well you're able to maintain and stable your blood sugar, another thing that can cause cravings, sugar cravings constantly. Also energy dips, which then also leads to more need for snacking and eating sugary foods all the time. The gut environment also influences how well your body can absorb nutrients, which is a massive one for energy and feeling your best and how your hormones function and how your menstrual cycle functions. Your gut environment also helps you to manage inflammation, really important for injury prevention, important for just how you feel in your body and your joints, for how energized you feel, and also for how safe you feel in your body. When the gut environment is supported, the body often feels more stable. When the gut is struggling, the body can feel inflamed, fatigued, and dysregulated. So this is why two people can eat very similar diets, but feel very different in their bodies. One of the biggest frustrations women experience is feeling like they're doing everything right, yet not seeing the results that they expected. And this is where we need to understand that the scale does not only reflect body fat. The number on the scale can also reflect fluid balance, inflammation, digestion, constipation, menstrual cycle shifts and the different hormone levels, stress levels, your sleep quality, food intolerances, sodium intake, carbohydrate intake, muscle repair, gut content volume. And if digestion is slow, if the gut is inflamed, if stress is high, if the nervous system feels overwhelmed, the body may hold on to more fluid. The stomach may feel distended. The body may feel puffy or heavy, and this can feel very discouraging if you believe the only variable that matters is calories. Sometimes the body that feels stuck is not actually resisting fat loss, it's actually responding to stress, inflammation, poor digestion, and underfueling. And that is why if losing weight is a goal that you have, you A, need to remember that it's a patience game. It takes time. And B, if your body and your environment has not been set with the foundations it needs to be supported in this phase of your journey in your life, this is where it can become really hard. Because you could fill your calories up. Let's say, for example, your calories were 1,800 a day. You could fill those calories up with ultra-processed foods and feel like crap, feel bloated, feel puffy, feel tired, feel fatigued. You might be seeing some great fat loss results, but you don't feel how you look and how you feel you should. And for other people, that can do the opposite. It can increase their blood sugar levels, which increases their sugar cravings, which means they might stick to that 1,800 calories but binge eat at night because they've not anchored their day with a nourishing breakfast that's got fats, fiber, protein. So it's really important that the quality of the fuel that we eat is aligned with what our body's environment is craving to feel its best. Now, I'm not saying you can't eat those foods at all. The ultra-processed ones every now and again is going to work. But it's only going to work within your body if you've got an environment set up to cope. Okay? And then many women also interpret bloating as fat gain, right? And bloating is often related to digestion, gut bacteria activity. It could also be food tolerances. Stress levels massively impact bloating, menstrual cycle changes, or eating patterns. So for example, things like eating too quickly, eating under stress, irregular meal timing, low fiber intake, sudden high fiber intake. So if you start increasing your fiber all of a sudden, but you have low hydration, that can make you feel bloated. Food intolerances, high ultra-processed food intake, like I said before, really, really long gaps in between meals where you get to the point where you're like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. And then you just go and eat heaps of food. That can be causing bloating. And then high stress levels because you're not breathing within the diaphragm enough because you've got that anxious breathing. So all of this can influence digestion and fluid balance. And inflammation can also increase fluid retention in tissues, which can actually make the body feel tighter or heavier. So this is why short-term fluctuations in body weight are very normal, because the body is dynamic. It's constantly adapting, it's constantly responding, and when we interpret every change as quote-unquote failure, we create more stress, which can further impact digestion or hormones. You cannot hate your way into a healthier body. And sometimes the body you think is gaining weight is actually asking for more nourishment, more consistency, more fiber, more hydration, more regulation, and more support from you. Being mean to yourself and being negative towards yourself is not going to help you achieve your goal. It's probably going to make things harder because your mindset might go into, oh, well, fuck it mode, you know? So I want to just touch on calories because calories are important, right? We all have an amount of calories we need every single day to digest, to thrive, to survive, to do all the things our body needs to do. And calories do matter when it comes to weight change over time. But calories are only one part of a very complex system. Some people thrive on tracking calories. It helps them to know they're getting enough food, and it helps them to know they're getting enough nutrients in terms of their macros. And also, if fat loss is their goal, they know that they're on track with how much food they need to eat to achieve a goal. For some people, it becomes another overwhelming thing that they need to add to their daily lists. I find mums really struggle to track calories. So sometimes for them, it's just a matter of choosing 3 meals from a recipe guide. And those meals are somewhat within what they need, but most people see results because they're eating the amount their body needs, and they might be in a slight deficit, but they feel full because the meals they're following are high in fiber, keeping them satiated, high in protein, keeping them satiated. And then we might add in tools like, okay, so if you're still hungry, go to the snack guide and choose a snack and just have one of those. Okay, and if you're not seeing results within 3 weeks, you may need to look at cutting out that snack and just having 3 meals a day, because that's going to be what you need in order to lose weight. So calories work for some people, they don't work for others. If we think about what we used to do, maybe 50, 70 years ago, let's not bring all the technical things like war and stuff into it, but people probably only ate 3 meals a day anyway. They would have their breakfast to start their day. They would probably have some kind of a ritual drink in the morning, whether that was a tea with their family or a coffee with a friend or their family, or depending on where you lived in the world, whatever that looked like, Then you'd have lunch, which would be time where you'd sit down and just enjoy another meal. It probably would be something that has protein and vegetables. And then you would have had dinner. Now, sometimes dinner would have been followed by a little bit of dessert, or it would have just been a meal, depending on what you could get and, whereabouts in the world you lived and how much money you had. So most people were eating and surviving and thriving off 3 meals a day. Now, when the processed food era kind of came into play and it was kind of advertised that you're too busy to be cooking, you're too busy to be spending all your time in the kitchen. And there was this massive movement around disempowering people to cook their own food because it was a waste of their time. Now, food is a massive part of being human. There's a huge cultural aspect to food. Food is a part of who we are. We need food to survive and to thrive. We need food as fuel so our bodies can do the things they need to do. But we've turned food into this thing that has become so disconnected to the real meaning of what it is to be human and to be connected to food and the land and where it comes from. And so big food kind of pushed this whole mothers, don't want to be cooking anymore and they want to be working, which is great. It's empowering women to get out there and work. But I do think we've lost touch of that cooking from scratch and cooking from home, which doesn't need to be hours every day and it doesn't need to be something that holds you back. And if anything, it's something that's going to help you to be healthy because you're more connected to your food. So there are ways to see results without having to track calories. But in a world that we live in today where there is so much food noise, so much food marketing, just food everywhere, especially takeaways, ultra-processed foods, tracking calories can be a great tool to help people so that they're not over-consuming, especially when it comes to the processed foods and the takeaways. So when we talk about calories, the body is not like a maths equation. The body is a living system that does respond well to the food quality, to the food you eat, nutrient diversity from the food you eat, even meal timing. So having your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, and you have it at similar-ish times most days. Sleep, stress, gut health, hormones, movement, safety, consistency, as I've all mentioned. But if someone is chronically undereating, skipping meals, they're highly stressed, sleep deprived, struggling with their digestion, struggling with the choices of their food because they're having more processed foods, so it's low in fiber, low in protein, and just living off caffeine, the body may not feel safe. And then when the body does not feel safe, it sometimes, for some people, may prioritize protection, which can make fat loss feel harder. And this is why focusing on only calories can miss important signals the body's giving us. And sometimes improving gut health, digestion, meal structure, and nourishment can make fat loss feel more achievable without needing the extreme restriction. Okay? So when we look at weight loss, we do need to have a compassionate reframe around weight, because weight is not a moral judgment. Weight is not a reflection of your worth. Weight is simply one piece of the feedback from your body. Okay? Your goal does not need to be to control your body perfectly. Your goal can be to support your body consistently, to nourish it, to listen to it, to build stability, to create an environment where your body can function well. Because when the body feels supported, change often becomes easier. It's not forced, it's not rushed, but it's sustainable. So yes, you can track calories to achieve a weight loss goal, but I encourage you to not fill those calories up with just whatever. I encourage you to build a solid foundation and a safe environment for your body first. How you can do that is by learning more about nutrition and learning more about nutrients and nutritious foods that you can consume to give your body a healthy and stable environment. Once you've done that and you've improved your sleep and you've focused on drinking more water and you've started moving your body more and you feel like you're in control of this environment that feels safe and it feels achievable and it's consistent, then you can take it that next step further and go, okay, I've got here. I'm feeling so satisfied from the food I'm eating. I feel satiated. I feel full. I feel like the food noise is drowning out a little. I feel as though I have control. That is when you can take things up a notch and go, right, I'm going to focus on a little bit of a fat loss phase. That might mean I start tracking my calories, but it also might mean I just look at the meals I'm already having and go, how can I make these work so that I see a result I'm looking for? maybe I might not have as much ultra-processed foods and swap them for more whole foods and see what that does to my health. Because when you have a thriving gut, generally that means people will maintain their weight loss a lot more efficiently and sustainably. So don't just rush straight into a calorie deficit. It's not all about the calories. I have seen incredible results with my own clients, especially the mums who just don't have the capacity to add another thing to their list that is already so long when it comes to tracking calories. They just want to know, what foods can I eat to make me feel supported, to feel energized, to feel my best? And fat loss hasn't even been the main priority. It's been more about building sustainable energy and a routine that makes them feel healthy and supported. And they've seen the most incredible results. Recently, I had a client who gained muscle from working out from home. And most of my clients that I work with online work out from home because the gym is a tool, right? Having dumbbells at home is also a tool. It's about using the tool that's going to help you to move more consistently. So she's been training hard from home, following her program, and she's been following recipes. And she has gained muscle and she has lost fat without that even being her focus, without tracking a single calorie, but trusting the process and going, okay, well, a nutritionist has created these recipes for me. I'm going to follow these recipes knowing I'm getting enough fiber, getting enough protein, and if I'm still feeling hungry, she's told me to add an extra egg or add an extra handful of vegetables. So there's tools in place to make the meals more satiating if they need to be. But the focus has not just been on tracking calories. And it's so important that when you're on a journey with your nutrition and you're on a journey with your gut health, that you are working in a way that feels good for you and meeting yourself where you're at. You might not be ready for the whole tracking calorie thing, and that is so fine. You've got to find a tool that works for you. So I hope this has helped shed a little bit of light, because in the next episode, we're going to talk about why tracking calories is not the be-all and end-all of health. And if fat loss is your goal, I will walk you through a step-by-step process to support your gut and metabolism before entering a fat loss phase, because the goal is not just weight loss. The goal is a body that feels energized, resilient, nourished, and strong. And this is the message we want women to be focusing on, more so than just, I need to be skinny, I need to be slim, I need to fit a size 8 pair of pants, I need to look like this girl in a magazine. You need to focus on you, and you need to focus on feeling incredible within your body for you. Thank you so much for listening to the Well Body Podcast. If this episode has resonated with you, please make sure you give it a 5-star review or share it to a friend who needs to hear this episode. If you need help with your own gut health reset, please click the link down below, because I have got a free gut health reset that you can sign up to. It's totally free, and I'll send you the PDF and a little step-by-step on how to start improving your gut. And you can literally see results in terms of your energy and how you feel within 3 days of following this protocol. That's how long it takes for you to start feeling your best. Only 3 days if you go all in. So if you want that free support, please click the link below. And if you want to join my weekly newsletter where I share incredible information and helpful resources and tools to help you improve your overall energy and health through nutrition and movement and nervous system, do click the link below and sign up to my newsletter. I send weekly newsletters every Monday, which are just insightful and helpful for you on your journey. Have the most amazing day, evening, morning, whenever it is that you are listening to this podcast. I'm so grateful that you have tuned in today and you've chosen to listen to the Well Body Podcast. It makes me feel so fulfilled knowing that I am seeing more of you every single week tune in. When I look at those stats, I just feel so happy, because a year ago, this almost felt impossible for me to start. And now I've really just locked in and been consistent with it. And the consistency of posting a podcast every week is really starting to show, because I'm getting great feedback from you all and I'm getting more listeners, and it just means the world. So thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope you have learned something new today. You're amazing, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thanks for listening to the Well Body Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review or share it with someone who needs to hear it. You can find more support, resources, and information on my website at www.beyondthebody.co. Until next time, I look forward to having you in the next episode.